Hey folks, I'm Father Benjamin Gildas, and I am the rector of Incarnation Holy Sacrament Episcopal Church in Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania. Now, this video that you're watching is an explanation of how to use our Good Friday at-home worship materials for this year, 2020. Thanks for joining us as we continue our worship for Holy Week with prayer and meditation for Good Friday, the day that we commemorate and remember the death of Jesus of Nazareth. Good Friday is the second day in what we call the Holy Triduum, or the sacred 3 days of Easter. These are treated as actually being one service that's stretched across 3 different days, commemorating one single drama. Beginning with the Last Supper of Jesus on Maundy Thursday, that then leads to Gethsemane, as Jesus prays before he's arrested there and taken to his sham trial, brutally beaten and tortured and murdered on Good Friday. We then light the first light of Easter and celebrate the resurrection in what we call the Vigil of Easter. For our home use this year, I would encourage you to do that last ritual late at night in the dark on Saturday or very early on Easter morning. In this video series, in addition to explaining how to use worship materials for today, we will also talk about the significance of each of these important days of the Christian liturgical calendar. Good Friday is the day that we commemorate the death of Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus was a teacher, a rabbi, who called those around him to a renewed worship of the God of Israel that didn't fall into the traps of religion and the misuse of the law, but instead taught to show mercy, love justice, and walk humbly with God, who he called his Father. Jesus lived and taught a servant love, a love that serves and sees sacrifice as its highest expression. As Christians, we believe that Jesus is the eternal Son of God, both truly human and truly God, the second person of the Trinity. But it is important for us to remember that what happened on Good Friday was indeed the death of this man, the death of a man, Jesus of Nazareth, this teacher. He walked purely, fully, and truly the way of God's love and taught that love to others. On Good Friday, we see clearly that when love comes down to the world kills it in order to maintain the status quo and hold desperately onto the illusion of world power, whether it is the religious leaders or political leaders of his day. But what we see in Jesus is a man who faced those same leaders and faced his own death with complete and utter faith and trust in the Father. Jesus' death was the unjust murder of an innocent man at the hands of the state. Today I invite you to meditate on that and the way that Jesus faced his death with faith in the Father, using our at-home worship materials for Good Friday. One way you can assist in this meditation is by removing any other adornment from your home sacred space for this day. When we worship at church, we do this by stripping our altar and the church of embellishment at the end of the Maundy Thursday service every year. Today, I invite you to just place a simple wooden cross on your home altar. You may still wish to light a candle to mark the beginning and end of your prayer. If you're going to use music for this day, ready that music beforehand. YouTube links will be available on our IHS website. Designate someone in your group as the presider for this, or if you're reading alone, you'll read the whole thing yourself. The parts in bold are meant to be read together if you're in a group. Designate someone to read the text from Isaiah. Say Psalm 22 together. And the gospel reading, which is long, may be read by one person, or it may be divided between several people, or it may be read as a script with parts assigned beforehand. Read the gospel reading in whichever way will help you focus on the events of Jesus and his death as much as possible. The prayer for this day continues with what is called the Solemn Collects, prayers for the church and the world, the Lord's Prayer, and finally by praying the final prayer together in unison. I invite you this Good Friday to wait a while with the tragedy and the evil of Jesus' death on this day. Remember, when you look upon the simple wooden cross, that the cross of Jesus was not only used to murder him as a tool of state power, but to unjustly murder so many others. That is the kind of death that Jesus shared in, and he did so always with an unlimited trust and faith in his Father, to whom at the last he gave up his spirit into the Father's care. It is that same faith, Jesus' faith, that we are given, that we are filled with, and that we share in today. His faith is in you. and so you can face the difficulties and the challenges of these days with the same unlimited trust and faith in the Father that we see in Jesus on this Good Friday. Our prayer for Holy Week continues with Holy Saturday tomorrow as we wait with Jesus in the grave.